Shalom Chevra, I hope everyone's doing well, getting ready for Shabbos, enjoying the times. Anyways, I was asked to share a few thoughts, a few words, a few Torah concepts. And so I wanted to speak a little bit about Derech Eretz, Dina Kamal Dina, and Sakanat Nefashot. Right? So, I'll tell you a story. About a month or so ago, right? I saw this guy walking down the street. I was out for a walk with my dog. And this guy was walking down the middle of one of the lanes, pretty much middle of the street. He was good. He was doing good, wearing a mask, right? And we see plenty of people who don't when they're supposed to. But he was walking down the middle of the street on a weekday, right? He had grocery bags in both of his hands and just kind of spacing out a little bit. And I told him, I said, excuse me, are you aware that you're walking down the street, right? Kind of a simple idea. He was like, yeah, of course. I'm like, well, it's dangerous. There could be a car coming. He said, oh, no, I'm listening out for the cars. I said, yeah, but you know to listen out for a car. I said, first off, I have a hybrid. It's very quiet, right? You have fully electric cars, which are even quieter. And then you have small children who are watching from the windows right now, who are watching that you're a Frum Jew, right? You got a long beard going on, you got your tzitzis hanging out, and you're walking down the street in the middle of the day. And they're not going to know, oh, well, he knows to listen out for a car, right? And so there's a few concepts kind of mishmash, right? We're missing the point here, I feel like, right? So, one of them is the fact that just in general, right? We as Jews, we have a responsibility. We're supposed to be or la'amim, right? We're supposed to be in light unto the nations, right? It's a huge responsibility. It's a great idea and a wonderful concept. But the fact is, if we're supposed to be a light unto the nations, we definitely should be a light unto our own children, unto those who are around us, those who are next to us. And how is it that we can be a light unto others, unto other nations, if we can't even follow the own basic, simple laws of the nation that we live in, right? We have this idea of dina kamachus dina, right? The law of the land is like the law, unless it goes directly against halacha, which says that, jaywalking, right? Walking across the street, that's against the law. Riding without a bicycle helmet, these things are against the law. And even more so, we have halachas against following through with something which might be considered a sakanat nefashos. Right, we have many people know within kashrut, you have a halacha, or you have a rule actually, really which follows within halacha. We don't eat fish and meat together. Why? Because they say it's a sakanat nefashos, right? Modern science will definitely argue with that, but we still to this day hold this as halacha, lemaisa, right? There's no questions on it. We all say, "Oh my goodness," right? And it's not like we're dealing with a chok, right? It's not like it's a law with no known reason. We don't logically understand it. It says no, you do things that are safe. You don't do things that are not safe. So much so, right? If you're in a situation, right, someone is in a life-threatening situation, we break Shabbos. We're not mechalav Shabbos. We're mekadosh Shabbos, really, by breaking Shabbos to save a life. But then we walk down the middle of the street. We ride our bicycles without a helmet. We do all these things setting such a... It's not an example. It's a negative example. It's an example of how not to act, not to live. Right? I specifically with the helmets, it's a very big issue for me as well because personally I broke a couple bike helmets when I was a kid. There's only one way to break a bicycle helmet. It means that you needed it to save your life. And I'm very grateful. A few of those times I ended up with cuts on my head underneath the helmet even. So how much worse would it have been if I wasn't wearing a helmet? I probably wouldn't be able to speak right now. And I've met people who've lost family because bicycle helmets, motorcycle helmets, whatever it may be, they weren't wearing proper protection, right? It's we hear of all these horrible things. People are being hit by cars. Why? Because they're in the road. They shouldn't be in the road to begin with. Not that the driver shouldn't be paying attention, but really it's both sides. We have these laws, and these laws, it's amazing because it's not, like I was saying before, it's not like it's unknown why. These are things to save our lives. They're simple actions that we can follow through with, right? I had it one time, one of my neighbors yelled at me because I didn't turn on my turn signal before parking. And I said to him, you are right. Because the fact is, right? I stopped my car, I need to turn on the turn signal. If I'm going to be crossing traffic, I need to be turning on a turn signal. If I'm coming around a roundabout, I need to let somebody know that I'm not going straight. Because then, even if legally that person hits me and it's their fault, I contributed. I had the ability to do the slightest little action like this, click, and save a life. Right? I had the ability to put on a helmet and not just put it on, but go click. And I'm saving my life, and I'm being a good example to others, so hopefully saving other people's lives as well. Right? I had the ability to put on a mask right now and save my life, and God forbid I am carrying a disease and I don't know it. I have the ability to prevent myself from passing it to somebody else, and I'm saving a life. These are basic things. These are basic things within halacha, within Torah Judaism that says we follow the way of the land and we try and keep ourselves safe. Have an amazing Shabbos and learn and practice what we can be to be an or la'amim, and light unto the nations. And let's start by being a light unto our own nation and unto our own children.